In this video today, we're going to be making some homemade chow chow. First thing you want to do is get between 10 to 12 green tomatoes, medium if you can. We just went and picked these, so we're going to get a washing them off. Okay, the next step is going to be getting out your chopping board. We're going to chop all these up, dice them up kind of small. And we're going to do that with every one of the tomatoes, so this will take a little bit, and we'll get back with you. Alright, when we're finally through dicing our tomatoes, we're going to move them all over now into a big bowl. So let's get to that step. Alright, now that we have all of our tomatoes in a bowl, we're going to be needing half a cup of salt. We are using sea salt. You take the salt and you sprinkle it all over the top of the tomatoes. This is going to set overnight. So the next step is some plastic wrap. You put a bag over it, whatever, just to seal it. We're going to wrap this up and store it in the refrigerator overnight. Alright, next day now. Tomatoes have been sitting in the refrigerator overnight with the salt on top of them like that. We will drain them here in a little bit, but our next step is to cut up 3 yellow onions. We're going to cut them up the same as we did the tomatoes, diced. Next up is 4 red bell peppers. We're going to dice these up just like we did our onions and just like the tomatoes. We got our tomatoes back out and it is straining time. Let's get the water out of these. Go ahead and put them all down in there and elevate this up where they can be straining away. Alright, with our tomatoes good and strained, let's go ahead and get these in our final pot we're going to be using. And now to join them is going to be the red bell pepper and the onions. Alright, next up is 2 cups of white distilled vinegar. Go ahead and get them in there. 1 cup of regular white granulated sugar. Now we want to stir this all together best we can, which means really good. We want to get all the sugar dissolved in there, dissolved down into the vinegar and all over this, so take your time here and make sure you stir it really good and get all that mixed in before we add the next ingredient. Okay, we got it really good and mixed up. It's time for our final ingredient, and that's going to be 1 tablespoon of ground allspice. Make sure that's good and leveled off. We're going to mix this in really well and then we'll move it over here to the stove. Okay, we have this all stirred up. It's time to move this on over to the stove, and we're going to turn our stove setting on around 4.5 to 5, which is around medium, and we want to just keep on stirring these as they heat up until all of the vegetables in there become tender. Alright, it's been about an hour and a half. We've been stirring it about every, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. They're getting tender. And these won't have very much more to go here, probably about another 30 minutes, and you can take these on out and start jarring them. Alright, get a little bit in the bowl here just so you can kind of get a look at how that is. This goes excellent on hamburgers, hot dogs, beans, you name it.